Welcome back to In Business. We're in the studio with Charles Waud. Charles is the current president of the Brampton Board of Trade and also runs a very successful software company. He's in the studio with us to tell us how he got started. Welcome to the studio, Charles.
Thanks
for coming in.
Thank you.
Charles, a little bit of background about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Toronto, but I was raised in Brampton.
All your life?
No, I moved to St. Catharines for 5 years and then moved back. But so most of my life I've been in Brampton.
Everybody wants to know the answer to the question. How did you get started in this business? You've been in it for 20 years now. What made you decide that you wanted to get into this business?
Well, partly I worked for two other people for a period of time, one fella for about 12 years, and saw the way he did things, thought I could do better. Went to work for another fella for about 5 years, same thing, you know, saw what was going on, thought I could do it myself, so after working there I went out on my own.
Give us a couple of examples, because when I talk to entrepreneurs and I ask them why they got into business for themselves, the answers vary. Some will say, well, I wanted to be my own boss, I wanted to set my own hours, I wanted to get paid for my efforts, and inevitably the one comes up, I thought I could do it better than the person I was working for. So what are a couple of examples that drove you to your own business?
That's a good summary, actually. I think my main motivation was I could do it better. I could do what they were doing, but I could do a better job at it than they were doing. Certainly all the other things, you know, the possibility to make more money is there, be your own boss, flexible hours, notoriety, you know, there's a lot of other things that come into it, but mainly the second place I worked at did basically what I do now, and I just saw the way that he was doing it and the people that worked there were doing it and thought I could do a better job at it.
Charles is the president of Waud, and you have some specific software applications that you work on. Tell us a little bit about those specialty applications.
Okay, well, the best way to describe it is ACPAC for produce people. So we service the produce industry, people who grow, pack, sell, and ship fruit and vegetables, fresh fruit and vegetables. And we've been doing the inventory side of that for many years, and actually the accounting now has been in for 10 years as well. So we've been in business 20 years, as you mentioned. And so it's basically, as I said, it's like ACPAC for produce companies. It has all the little nuances in it that are specific to the produce industry on top of distribution software.
So I know your wife comes in and out of the business to help you out on occasion. You also have a partner in the business. And when did that partner join you?
We put our two businesses together officially in 2000. He worked with me for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years prior to that. We met at a conference. We subcontracted each other. He had a software company in the satellite television industry, the large dish industry, and as you know, the large dish went away and the small dish came in, so his customer base went away. So from I guess 96 or so, when I met him, through 2000, his customer base was declining and he was doing more and more of my programming, and in 2000 we decided to merge the two businesses together, and he's been with me ever since.
And why did you, so you'd been in business for about 8 years prior to this, why this particular partner? What was it, what were the unique qualities that he had that you felt you could have a good partnership together? I
had several partnerships prior to that with a number of people in different businesses, and I'd seen a lot of pros and cons of working with other people in partnerships. With Ian Lloyd, who's the fellow's name, we fit really well. His strengths are all in the areas that mine aren't, and vice versa, and then we have a little bit of crossover.
Okay.
So
help us understand, what are some of the challenges of partnership, and why didn't some of your other partnerships work out?
Well, the biggest, it's funny, a customer of mine told me years ago, the biggest problem with a partnership is why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because it can get very frustrating if people are questioning things that you believe in your mind to be right. So those are the challenges, I think, that the main one. And then if somebody is focused on something outside the business, that's also a really big challenge. So you have to make sure that if you're going to be partners with somebody, that both of you are putting reasonably the same amount of effort in. And that's probably why some of my partnerships in the past didn't work out, was because some of the partners were involved in many other things. So you felt like you were doing the majority of the work, but somebody else was taking a share of the profit, and you didn't feel that that was fair.
And fortunately, the most important partnership in your life with your wife, that one's worked out okay. Yeah. So that's perfect. Help us understand a little bit more about you personally. And are you an only child? Do you have brothers and sisters?
No, I have 3 brothers. They're all older. I'm the youngest of 4 boys. And One of them lives in Edmonton, one's in Toronto, and one's here in Brampton.
Any of them in the same line of work that you are?
Nope, all 4 of us are in completely different lines of work.
When you were younger, when you're growing up, we have a lot of influences in our life. Who influenced your life the most?
When I was younger growing up, probably my father to a large extent. And
we're going to let you think about that while we
Okay.
go to the break. And when we come back, we'll find out who influenced Charles' life the most. We will be back with Charles Waud of Waud right after the break.